If you work with a bunch of musical gear, then you're probably going to run into these two different styles of power supplies. If you don't get power with the standard IEC cable, you have that big power brick thing. There's a couple different styles you'll see. Either the prongs for the plug that goes into the wall or into a power strip of some kind will be all collected here. Here's the bulk of it. Here's the weight of it. On the other side is a little connector you plug the thing into, which, this is great. You should probably use the power supply that comes with your device. Alternatively, there are things where there's a power cable, like a IEC cable or some kind of thing that comes out of one end, and then it has this big brick in the middle, and then it carries on through the cable that plugs into your device. So all the weight is in the middle of the cord instead of at the very end. Now, if you've got one of those big heavy things, then and you've got a big old surge protector or a power strip beside your devices, then okay, this is perfect. You could plug it right in and turn it on. There you go. There's no problem there. But there may be some cases where this part of it is too heavy and you'll want a style where all the weight is in the middle of the cable, because you're not working with this, but rather you've elevated your power supply like in a rack mount. So this is fine, but for these Hammond pedals, and not just for Hammond pedals, but this one in particular, the standard power supply that comes with it is this thing. Now this is heavy. It's twice the size of this other thing and more than twice the weight. So if you take this and you plug it in there, there's going to be too much stress on the prongs of this thing, and it might over time weigh itself down, bend something, short out, and broken. So like the other thing, the barrel connector goes right into the back of the pedals, and there you are. So what you'd have to do is have all the weight like down on the floor next to it. But if it's up here, no good. Well, on the back of here it says Suzuki, because it's Hammond Suzuki. Suzuki owns Hammond, or they're one and the same. Anyways, on the back of this Hammond here, it requires, and it'll say here and on the power supply, 10 volts and 1 amp or 1,000 milliamps, and it is center negative. Well, there you are. So I searched those specs and I find that there is a Blackstar amp that uses also 10 volts. That's what you want to match. That's what this is. It's an upright device adapter, and it says it's compatible with Blackstar stuff. I don't know what Blackstar's guitar stuff, but this is DC 10 volts, and that's the number that has to match. And it has more than enough power at 3 amps instead of 1 amps, or 3,000 milliamps instead of 1 or 1,000 amps. So this is okay if the number exceeds what the device wants. We know from this original power supply that it wants at least 1,000 milliamps, and this can supply 3,000 milliamps, or 3.0 amps. Just as long as this number isn't lower than 1,000, then it's good. But if it exceeds it, the pedals are only going to draw as much power as it wants. So there's some extra power in there, but that's fine. You just don't want to. You want to make sure that this isn't lower than. Otherwise, maybe it'll malfunction or something. But this is where it has to match perfectly. The DC 10. Now, here's where it doesn't match. It's center positive instead of center negative. That's no good. But it's the right adapter I want, because the other side of this cable plugs right into here, like one of these. Easy. No weight, no force pulling off of the rack. So it's one of these style bricks in the middle. The other end of this goes a barrel cable into the back of the pedals. But in order to make it center positive instead of center negative, you can put one of these things. It's a, what is it called? A inverter? It's a polarity reverser or polarity inverter. So instead of your cable going straight into there to blow something up because it's the wrong center positive or negative or something, plug it into this thing first, and then it will receive whatever the power is in here. Whoops. Let me put you down for a second. And then reverse it. And then it goes right into here. Okay. Now, on the back here, it also lists different power supplies you can use, but I think they're all big and bulky. So, yeah, that's super great. Now, these pedals do not have a power switch. So as soon as you plug them in, they're on. But as long as you're going to mount your power like I am to a rack mount, you might also get one of these things. So if I flick the switch, I have the bass. No, pedals is the one. Number 9. I put it on. Hello? Hello? Wait, those are the... Oh, it did turn on. Well, that took a little while. Anyways, it works. What does it control? That's a story for another time. These pedals are cool because they start up on a preset. So you can put it down an octave, save it, and then when it starts up, it's always down an octave, which is great for bass pedals. Otherwise, you always have to, every time you turn it on, you have to press the octave down. That's not always an issue, but for something like, depends on what it's connected to. Like if you were on a preset, the octave, but this octave switch might not work because it disables all the controls except a few of them. So sometimes you have to control the octave up or octave down from the pedal thing itself. So you can always have it on the octave you want. As you see here, the light for the octave is on. But we'll learn how to control this thing in a different video. For now, I just wanted to say that this big heavy thing is out because it's too risky to have. And something like this, where it's a little brick in the middle, then the cables go out on either side, it's much easier on less stress on the connection points. Goodbye.